Hey guys, it's Darkwave, and today I'm gonna take a break of clips and I'm gonna actually try to do a longer video this time. This is actually gonna be the Revenant guide. I've been playing Rev for about, I would say, 4.5 seasons by now and have accumulated 12,200 kills on him. The last video I done showcasing my banner when I was at, I'm pretty sure 4.5k. Whoa, we come from long ways, boys. First part is about Rev's abilities on what is the best time to use them and when you should use it in a fight. So firstly, let's talk his passive. As most of you know, Rev's passive is you crouch walk faster, and you climb a lot faster, too. Now, Rev's crouching ability is probably one of the more underrated abilities in the game. It's because you move so stupidly fast while crouching, you could just beam someone from hipfire. You should always be crouching, staying crouched as Rev, and not crouch spamming whenever you're shooting. It's better to stay crouched because you're moving at the same speed strafing as if you were standing up. You're just making yourself having a bigger hitbox. Now the silence, another really underrated ability. Use it against legends. Basically use it as much as you can, especially up close. Just spam both silences at the enemy and do what I said with the crouching thing. I'll show you real quick. People treat Rev's silence as like a flashbang sometimes because you can hardly see anything with it. You just spam both silences like that. It's perfect. If you can't see anything, you most likely won't get hit, and you'll get a freebie. Finally, his most underwhelming ability, his ult. His ult desperately needs a rework. Said they were gonna buff him, but they were just gonna give him this totem placement, which is still useful. Sometimes it glitched out and just disappeared, and I've died because of that. So his ult. One of the best times to use the ult is when to use it defensive aggressively. So imagine you pump out a lot of damage like this, but then you get hit for 100, you could pop the totem, kill them with a super glide, silence and everything. You can combine all three of the tips I showed you with all three of the Rev's strengths and weaknesses. A very obvious one is that Revenant is a huge legend. Rev has the 4th biggest hitbox across the game, alongside Caustic, Gibby, and Newcastle. But he doesn't have Fortify, so you're going to be taking a lot of damage and getting beamed easily. So you're going to be wanting to crouch thing, obviously, again, but a bit more careful. Because you're going to get beamed pretty easily, compared to like a Lifeline or Wraith. Nextly, our Revenant's strengths. He's really good at being a team player with his ult. People say they need Octane's ult, but there are other strategies. If you have Rev's Heirloom, this isn't really a tip, but you can keep swinging it. Rev's Heirloom animation in third person has him swinging around like a ballerina. So it might be best to randomly melee during the fight, because your body just moves so much. Rev strings with passive crouch speed. Especially Rev's strength for his climbing and fragment. Fragment is one of the best places for Rev. You could just keep climbing every single building, streamer building, fade building, whatever it's called, and just fucking surprise people. Rev is probably one of the best legends for streamer building. Lastly, what guns you should use as Rev. I would always say that Rev technically got a buff with the hipfire this season, but then again, there are other guns that got nerfed with their hipfire that you can't put a laser sight on. So obviously Rev is going to be insane with a purple laser sight on an SMG, especially a Prowler. Just keep crouching, try to jump straight a bit, straight like this, shoot, laser sight and everything, and you'll basically guarantee hit your shots because this thing is very powerful and mobile. Laser sight Prowler is definitely one of the most open things in the game right now. It's not that strong of a weapon regularly. It's not the best, but its hipfire is definitely one of the best. It's even good without a laser sight. So you're going to want to run guns that have good hipfire. Basically your standard assault rifles, SMGs. Use more SMGs as Rev and not shotgun. That's one of the biggest things, because shotgun, you need a more in-your-face weapon as Revenant compared to Legends. Other Legends you can outsmart people with like the PK. PK ain't a Revenant gun. You can obviously still use it. But still, an SMG is always going to be a better fit for Rev. If you want to run a shotgun, you should definitely keep running the Eva. It's a pretty powerful gun this season. The only drawback is that it doesn't have range compared to the other shotguns, especially the Mozam. It's definitely a very fast damage dealing weapon. Perfect for Rev since you can just keep. See, that's gonna be broken. Finally, onto our last part. Things to note with Rev. His wall bounce is very different compared to the other Legends. He can't jump as far with other Legends. Wall jump. He goes about half the distance. Watch me do it with Gibby, no problem. Like, you just go so far. You go so far as Rev. If you're on PC and watching this, I can't really give him any tips for PC since I'm on console and everything. On PC, you should watch a dude called Guapi for his wall run tutorial. This is the best spot to practice wall run tutorials in the firing range. If you don't know what the wall run is for Rev, it's a special movement tech only for him because of his passive. Basically, it's a wall run normally around a wall. Around the wall, only for Rev.
What's over here?
Sorry, that was a little weird to explain. You can go around walls without losing momentum as Rev. That will be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I'll be uploading more clips later today. Thank you for taking time. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Goodbye.